The crucial high-level meeting between Assam and Mizoram to resolve the boundary dispute has concluded at the historical Aijal Club in Aizawl a short while back. And both the states during the meeting have welcomed and agreed to take forward the initiatives taken by the Home Ministry and Chief Ministers of the respective states to remove tensions prevailing around the interstate borders and to find a lasting solution to the dispute through discussions. Well, besides, the Mizoram government has also conveyed its condolences for the loss of lives of 6 Assam police personnel on July 26th. Meanwhile, in a significant decision, the Assam and Mizoram government have agreed to maintain peace in interstate border areas and welcomed deployment of neutral force by the centre. In this regard, the states have decided not to send their respective forces, forest and police forces, for patrolling, domination enforcement or for fresh deployment to any of the areas where conflict and confrontation has taken place between police forces of both the sides in the recent times. And not only this, both the state government have agreed to take all necessary measures to promote, preserve and maintain peace and harmony amongst people living in Assam and Mizoram, particularly in the border areas. It's a big story at this point in time, viewers. The crucial high-level meeting between Assam and Mizoram to resolve the boundary dispute has concluded at the historic Aijal Club in Aizawl a short while back. And both the states during the meeting have welcomed and agreed to take forward the initiatives taken by the Home Ministry and Chief Ministers of the respective states to remove tensions prevailing around the interstate borders and to find lasting solutions to the dispute through discussions. Besides, the Mizoram government has also conveyed its condolences for the loss of lives of 6 Assam police personnel on July 26th. Meanwhile, in a significant decision, the Assam and Mizoram government have agreed to maintain peace in the interstate border areas and welcomed deployment of neutral force by the centre. In this regard, the states have decided not to send their respective forest and police forces for patrolling, domination enforcement or for fresh deployment to any of the areas where conflict and confrontation has taken place between police forces of both the sides in the recent times. And not only this, both the state government have agreed to take all necessary measures to promote, preserve and maintain peace and harmony amongst people living in Assam and Mizoram, particularly in border areas. And while the meeting assumes a great significance as both the states have expressed their keen desire to end the long-pending dispute and finally took an ugly turn on July 26th. Well, the deliberations are perhaps the beginning of the bilateral efforts to permanently resolve the border dispute. Assam Cabinet Ministers Atul Bora and Ashok Singhal, accompanied by a Commissioner and Secretary Border G.D. Tripathi and a host of other officials, were present in the crucial meeting. On the other hand, Mizoram Home Minister Lalcham Liana, RD and Revenue Minister Lal Ruakt Kima and Home Secretary Vanlal Nagaishaka represented the Mizoram side. And besides, the representatives of Young Mizo Association and Mizo Zirlai Paul were also present in the closed-door crucial meeting today. So the crucial high-level meeting between Assam and Mizoram to resolve the boundary dispute comes to an end at the historic Aijal Club in Aizawl just a short while back, and there was also a press conference taken up by the delegates out there, and we are trying to get that inputs and we will try to show you the visuals also of that press conference. But the long pending dispute that finally took an ugly turn on July 26, this meeting assumes a great significance as both the states have expressed their keen desire to end the long pending dispute that finally took an ugly turn on July 26. All right, my colleague Isaac Zoram Sangha joins us over the phone line to give us the latest as he was present during the meeting and also after the meeting. The activities are going around there. Well, Isaac, as the meeting, the crucial meeting which comes to an end, there was also a press conference. So could you please put some highlight on what the meeting was all about and give us the key takeaways of the meeting?
Yes, the meetings, the crucial meetings of the Assam delegate and of the Assam and Mizoram government have come to an end, and both the states have welcomed to agree and forward the initiative taken by the Ministry of Home Affairs and also both from the state chief ministers to bring peace to bring peace to both the states. And also during the press conference, the Assam minister, Mr. Atul Bora, has said that they are. The state government of Assam will do the travel advisory made by the state government, and also he also mentioning that this blockade of borders should be lifted, and also the representatives from the Mizoram have conveyed the condolence of the loss of life on 26th of July, and they have also conveyed their best wishes for the speedy recovery of the injured. And the meeting took around 15 minutes, and also after that, the press conference has been held after that meeting. And during the press conference, also the most important thing, which said by the Some Minister Atul Bora, said that let us forget the past and focus on the future for the maintenance of peaceful for both the states. So that was the most important thing mentioned by the ministers of Assam, Mr. Atul Bora. And both the states have agreed to maintain peace in the interstate border, and also in their resolution also they welcome the deployment of the neutral force by the government of India. And for the purpose, and both the states shall not send their respective forces, that means new deployment of forces. They will not send the new forces to the respective boundary, and where confrontation and conflict take place between the police forces during the recent times. And this includes in the areas where in the border areas of Assam and Mizoram, from the Mizoram side in Mamit and Kolachit district, from the Assam side in Karimganj, Hailakandi and Kachar district. So the representatives of both the states have agreed to take all necessary measures to promote, preserve, and maintain peace and harmony among the states. And in the press conference, also there is a short press conference. It was a short press conference. They mentioned that peace should be brought for both the states. This is only just the starting of the meeting, and they say let us forget the past and focus on the peaceful and maintenance of peaceful for the state in the near future. Yeah.
All right, Isaac, and so at this point in time, what kind of activities is going on outside the Aijal Club, as the delegates and the officials have already done with the crucial meeting? And there was also a press conference taken place by Atul Bora and the other delegates out there. So what kind of activities is being out there, and what kind of stuff is being kept for the near future?
Yes, Pooja. The press conference was held by both the states. The press conference it was headed by two chief ministers from both two ministers from both the states. From the Mizoram side, it was the same, the home ministers and the ministers, and from the Assam side, Mr. Atul Bora and Mr. Ashok. And after this press conference, it was continued with meetings with the NGOs. Firstly, it was meeting with the YMA, and it will be followed by the MZP. And after that, some delegations are planning to leave by evening, Pooja.
All right, so they are going. Have they already met the Young Mizo Association and the Mizo Zirlai Paul, or are they having a discussion with them as well?
Right now, the delegates are having a lunch. Here, and
Okay.
after this, they will meet. They will meet the representative from the NGOs, the YMA and the MZP. We still don't know that this representative from Assam will meet both the NGOs, or they will meet differently.